When I say it doesn't mean 100% of the time, but if something is 95% of the time, you're going to get visa denial. Is it not as good as you're going to get visa denial? Do you get? How are you? I said, who day house? Who day house? Who day house? Well, today is a beautiful day, and I decided that let me come and see the questions that you have. What question would you like me to answer for you today? What question will you like me to answer for you? Something that has been on your mind that you're like, did I see Dr. Linda? I'm going to ask her that question. Right? Here is Dr. Linda now. Ta-da! We're here is Dr. Linda now. So what question would you like me to answer? What's that question that has been bothering you? You're like, I wish somebody can answer me this question. This question for me. I wish I can see somebody that can just ask. You know, sometimes you can feel that way when you have a lot to say or to ask, but you don't even know who to ask. Also, I would say that if you want to join my live session, feel free to request for it, and if I see it, I'll be able to bring you live so that you can ask your question. Param, let's see. Someone said, how can I travel from Nigeria to Canada immediately after NYSC? Okay, that's from Dolly. Dolly was asking us how she can come to Canada after NYSC. One important method that I teach people that follow me is, if you are doing NYSC now, it is an opportunity for you to also start your study abroad process immediately. All right? Instead of waiting, some people, they wait to finish their NYSC before they start. Now, what happens? It's not as if it's bad, but it's like you just lost 1 year that you should have as well used. For you to get admission abroad, you do not need NYSC certificate. Like in some countries, let's say specifically in Nigeria where NYSC is done, for you to get masters and co, you need NYSC certificate, right? Abroad, because they don't do NYSC, like in Canada, they don't do NYSC. In US, they don't do NYSC. In UK, they don't do NYSC. And other high-income countries, right, like that, right? Because they don't do NYSC, they don't put it as a requirement that you need to have before you get admission. Meaning that once you have graduated, you can actually apply for your master's abroad. So what some people do is that they overlap the application process with the NYSC process. If you've heard me say this several times, you see that study abroad process takes about 6 months to 12 months on the average. 6 months to 12 months. Some have done it earlier, some have used more than that. But on the average, it's 6 months to 12 months. So they overlap this process with the NYSC period so that they get the admission, get the scholarship, apply for their visa. All these things they're going to do while still doing NYSC, so that immediately at the end of NYSC, they are traveling for their relocating abroad. So if you are doing NYSC now, do well to overlap the process instead of waiting to finish before you start. All right? Let's look at the next question from someone else. I would like to take your questions today, so feel free, please. So someone is asking, I have a question that I'm bringing out. Yeah? So I have a question here that says, please, can a uni graduate with Bachelor's of Arts do an undergraduate as second degree in BSc as at 35? So this person has a bachelor's degree in arts and is asking if they can go on to do another bachelor's degree, BSc bachelor's degree, at the age of 35 abroad. Now, let me give you Dr. Linda's response. I know that by default, that answer will be yes, but you're going to have a hard time getting visa for another BSc, for another bachelor's degree. One, because you're already a graduate. Number two, because of your age. Number three, because you're going to require visa. Meaning, even after the admission is given to you, your visa, you're likely going to get visa denial. When I say this, it doesn't mean 100% of the time. But if something is 95% of the time, you're going to get visa denial. Is it not as good as you're going to get visa denial? Do you get? There are exceptions, but you never want to plan with that. So if you are someone who has a bachelor's degree and you want to proceed abroad, I will advise you to apply for PGD or master's abroad. You get the admission. You can, even some people, depending, and there are ways, there are ways you can align it so that you can use other things to make up, and you'll be able to apply for a slightly different degree. I can imagine that one of the reasons you may want to change field is probably because you don't like the thing you studied before and all that. But let me tell you, what you studied before is not the only thing you can use for your when trying to find courses abroad. There are other things, part of which is what we teach, advantage migration. Did I introduce myself? My name is Dr. Linda Iheme. I'm an educational consultant with Vantage Migration. Myself and my team, we train graduates and professionals who want to relocate abroad on how to do that successfully through the study abroad route, right? So let's say the answer of this question comes to Vantage Migration. We'll show you how to select courses. I understand that you probably don't like what you studied in undergraduate degree, but there are two possible things that could happen. We can show you how to get other courses that you like or you are currently involved with right now. All right. Or secondly, you may actually have a very sweet course, but because of where you find yourself right now in life, you feel like that your BSc is a waste. What we are saying is that you can actually take that your BSc certificate and turn it to a pile of scholarship money. So chances are that it's either you are getting a better course or you're even discovering how to turn this your course that you think is useless right now into something useful. Either way, I don't advise you to go for another BSc, because you can be on that journey for the next 5 years until you are 40 and you have not succeeded. Don't waste the rest of your life like that, okay? Let's look at more questions. So someone said, how easy is it to relocate to Canada with a family of 4 through study abroad route? It's as easy as easy. Why do I say so? What I will consider hard is something that rarely happens. But if it's a normal process, then I will say it's easy. With the right information, it's easy, because if you, let's say a family of 4 is probably a man, a woman, and 2 kids, right? So easiest way would be the man or the woman gets admission because of her husband or her wife, or his wife, depending on who is getting the admission, gets work authorization or open work permits, since you asked for Canada specifically. The children get visitors visa, and you do this visa application all at once. Of course, there are clauses. Those are the things you learn when you get trained, right? So you look at those clauses and see what is going to be the best way, whether you and your family is going to go all at once, or based on your situation, whether you should break the journey. So it's simple if you have the right information. But if you don't have the right information, it's going to be hard and look like a mountain that can never be climbed. So Stephanie, make sure, have you attended our webinar before? Let me show you. So you can actually start by attending our free webinar at www.vantagemigration.ca. Stephanie, please take a screenshot, and any other person who has the same question, take a screenshot. All right. Also, if you we have some video, like at least one particular video where I explain this, though I just explained it to you right now as well, where I explain this in detail. So if you are looking to, if you want to get a detailed response about family relocation through the study abroad route, there are one of 2 ways you can do it. You can go to YouTube today, right now, and say family relocation, Dr. Linda Iheme TV, you know, and like type to see the video that explains that. But most importantly, that's something you can just do now. But most importantly, you can actually send us an email. All right, you can send us an email to ask for that specific video on family relocation, and we will send it to you. So please, it's not just about sending us an email. This is the email address you should send it to: admission@vantagemigration.ca. admission@vantagemigration.ca. Please, if you are not sure of the email, don't type it. But if you are sure you heard what I said right now, feel free to type it, and I can pin it as a comment, pin the comment for others to see. Admission@vantagemigration.ca. All right, that is, you can I will send you the video that explains it in details. Okay, Stephanie? So who got the email address? Can you type it? Because I want to pin it so that any other person who did not get it will be able to get it. I said if you did not get it completely, please don't type so that you're not typing the wrong email address for people. All right? Someone says, I heard after your student visa expires, you'll be asked to come back to your country. Hey, if you don't have information and you are dealing with them say, that's what will happen to the person. If you are not trained and you are dealing with them say, my neighbor said, my ghost worker said, and then my taxi driver also now told me, and then on my way, even the call any name told you, them say will always land people in trouble. True or false? True. So stop them say. You can as well attend the free study abroad webinar that I just showed on this video by going to www.vantagemigration.ca to understand how it works. So some people are ready to sit down and gist for 2 hours. But if you ask them, come for info session that will actually tell you how that thing works, the same person does not have time. All right. Let's see. I'm pinning the email address. admission@vantagemigration.ca. So if you're looking for the family people who want more, please send us an email. We'll send you. Just say you're asking about family relocation process. We'll send you the details. All right. Please don't be part of them say. Someone is asking, can a pregnant woman be allowed into Canada with study permits? Will the person be asked to go back? So no, you can travel if you're pregnant. You can travel if you're pregnant. It's not a crime. It's not. Nobody is going to turn you back. And again, I still have a very detailed video on this pregnancy. You know, you can go to YouTube and say pregnancy, Dr. Linda Iheme, Canada trip or study abroad. You see the video. So, but I've already explained it here. Nobody's going to turn you back. It is perfectly normal for somebody to be pregnant and they can travel. All right. One moment. Okay, so let's look at the next question. Somebody said, can I sponsor myself after getting to Canada for a master's program through schooling and working? Can I sponsor myself? First of all, before you get your visa, you are going to tell embassy how you're going to sponsor yourself. And that you can't tell them, I'm going to sponsor myself by working. So even if that happens to be a strategy, that strategy will not get you to Canada. Tony Roland, that strategy is not going to get you to Canada. Therefore, it's better for, even if you don't have money, it's better for you to learn how to get scholarship, learn how to get study loan, because you need to provide the embassy with this information before your visa can even be approved. So if you don't have it, you're not even going to near anywhere. You see? All right? Let's see. Looking for questions. Someone said, someone is asking, do you guide medical doctors on how to relocate to Canada and how to get residency in Canada? Medical doctor, I'm a dentist, okay? So the person that is asking, Naki, I'm a dentist. So medical doctors or dentists or any other doctor at all can relocate to Canada via the study abroad route. Yeah? And you can see eventually get to practice your medicine. So get your residency, get everything you want to get. But if you want the one that, oh, you come to the hospital, you start working, we do not handle that, because we Advantage Migration, we handle education migration only for graduates and professionals who are going for PGD, which is postgraduate diploma, masters, PhD, right? That's what we do. Any other thing is not what we do. But one thing I want to let you know is that this study abroad is the fastest, surest, and easiest way to relocate abroad, including to Canada. So that same thing you are trying to achieve, you can achieve it. So imagine yourself, let's say you're a doctor, let me tell you, let's say you're a doctor, you want to relocate to Canada, you want to work, you want to do this. My sister, the question is, even a lot of the medical exams, you have to write it while you're in Canada, but the question is, how will you come to Canada, right? So you now have to start going to other routes. Now, this is what a smart doctor will do. Let me show you. A smart doctor is going to apply for masters in Canada, right? And being a doctor, if they're able to do all the things right, they will get scholarship, full scholarship. Even if they don't have full scholarship, they will get study loan, right? Now the doctor travels to Canada. While they're in Canada, they are going to prepare for the medical exams and write it, because to write those exams, you still need to be in Canada, right? So they prepare for the medical exams and write it. They get the medical job, they get their residency, all the things they need to do, all their dreams still come true. Or all their dreams still come true. Alternatively, you fold your arms and wait for the day miracle will happen. You somehow close your eyes and land in Canada, then you start, which is not a good strategy. So you can achieve your dream as a medical doctor. You can achieve your dream of relocating to Canada and everything through the study abroad route. And it puts you in a stronger position, because by the time you're applying to anything in Canada, and a good master's you can do is, let's say, a public health master's. It just introduces you into the healthcare system, how it operates, research methods, all those things, which is what a lot of people are looking for from doctors these days. When you are using that one to apply for work and your friend has not done any of that and they're applying for work, they will choose you before your friend. Don't you know? Strategy is everything. It's not just, okay, how do I want to go? How do I want to go? Hey, how do you want to go? All right? So I have Slimmy P saying, which visa is easier between Canada and Australia? I don't want you to think about it like that, because when it comes to visa have requirements. You fill those requirements, they give you the visa. So no country's visa is more difficult than the other. They are as difficult as all of them. You fill the requirements, you get the visa. So whether it is Canada, Australia, UK, if you don't fulfill the requirement, you don't get the visa. So none is easier, none is hard. It is, let me put it this way, easy or hard start coming in when you don't know what to do. Easy or hard start coming in when you don't know what to do. When you know what to do, like if I want to go to a place, I will not say it's hard. Or I know what to do. What are the documents they need? Bam, you give it to them. That's it. Easy or hard comes in when you don't know what to do. So when you don't know what to do, you start looking for which one is it easier for you to do, tombom, and it will happen. All right. So instead of that method, what do? You can learn how it works from Vantage Migration. I always say people should attend our free webinar first. That's the best way to start. You can start with www.vantagemigration.ca. All right, this is the free study abroad webinar. www.vantagemigration.ca. You can take a screenshot. All right, you can take a screenshot. So once you do that, you know you have the information you need to take informed decision. And I've already given you our email address in this video, admission@vantagemigration.ca. Don't say I told you to send me an email anywhere to the bush, including musumusu.com. That's not it, right? When I use this musumusu, let me tell you. Do you want to know where that name came from? Like, who wants to hear the truth of where the name musumusu came from? Who wants to hear? Say hello if you're asking here. Okay, while I was growing up, I'm sure you'll be like, does this story go back to where you're going? While I was growing up, I grew up, my first 7 years was in the village. That's the truth. Was in the village. I always tell the story of how I was schooling in a school where they will share peer at the end of the semester, and you write on board, right? You write on blackboard. You write with chalk on blackboard. So that was the school I was going. So in this village, there's a madman. This is true life story, please. There's a madman. There's a madman, and his name, not his name, like what we call him, the name they call him Musu Musu. Musu Musu. So I'm telling you, this is true. This is true. A madman whose name is, I don't think it's a name, like a real name. It's like how you refer to him, Musu Musu, like somebody that's always misbehaving. Like it's a madman's name in my village. I'm sure maybe the man may have died by now or something. So if somebody wants to insult you, they'll be like, you'll be behaving like Musu Musu. It's like saying you behave like a madman. Do you get? So when I say musumusu.com, it's like you can't send me to any rubbish place. Oh my God, that's so funny. It's so interesting to know that this name detailed back to God knows how many years ago. Okay, so our email address is admission@vantagemigration.ca. Not any other thing, including musumusu.com, please. Admission@vantagemigration.ca. That is our email address. If you have any specific questions, send us an email. But I encourage you to attend our free study abroad webinar first, because you will have already gotten answers to over 95% of your questions. So you will not just be asking a clarifying question about one or two things. Okay? Okay, take good care of yourself. Huh? Till I see you again.